Here's our sponsors for today's program.
Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is a fucked up game for fucked up people. And nothing proves that more than this motherfucker right here. Magneto is about as synonymous with Marvel vs. Capcom as Jesus is to the fucking Bible. It's hard to find a game in the series where Magneto is not important, except for that one. We don't talk about that one. Marvel 3 is actually one of Magneto's weaker appearances in the series. Don't get me wrong, he's still like mega fucked up, but his kid isn't as busted as some of the other top tier characters. I mean, first off, some of his supers are just kinda ass. Magnetic Shockwave will drop after the first hit if the other player's in the corner, which they very likely will be because Magneto has great corner carry. His other level 1, Magnetic Tempest, is a better option for cashing out meter, especially in the corner, but it has such a slow startup that setting it up as a combo hunter is pretty hard. His level 3 is an actually good super. It hits full screen in OTG, so routing into it is a lot easier. And like most level 3s, you get great unscaled damage, but unlike most level 3s, you're able to mash attack buttons for more damage. His few special moves include 2 of the best projectiles in the game, Electromagnetic Disruptor and Magnetic Blast, as well as 2 of the most useless moves in the game. Polarity Change has some niche use in mix-ups, but usually it's time better spent on your own positioning rather than the opponent's. Aside from Polarity Change, Magneto has Force Field. Force Field is a counter special that does genuinely nothing for you even if it works. If the counter activates, it'll send the opponent into a soft knockdown, which means you'll have to spend meter or X Factor for a conversion. Compare that to other counters in the game that have much bigger rewards off successful triggers. In general, Magneto struggles with converting off knockdowns, because he's one of 6 characters in the game without a meterless OTG option. For most characters, this would heavily limit their combo game. Magneto is not most characters. If Marvel 3 is a game with insane-ass movement, Magneto is the most insane-ass. He's probably the fastest in the game. His mobility alone gives him so much flexibility in the way he gets to route his combos. His movement also lets him do high-low throw mix-ups. Yes, you heard that right. That is a 33-66 guess, where whatever option you pick gets beaten by both other options. In this situation, Magneto can either air dash into empty low, air dash into instant jump light overhead, or throw. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, his fucking throw encases you in stone for 10 billion years, so he gets a fucking full combo off it too. He is like the only character in the game who can do that. There is no good reason why he should have this, but he does. You know why? I don't know. Fuck you. Most characters need to work for that shit, but not Magneto, I guess. Fucking, I don't know. In the corner, it even leaves you close enough to connect the one special move I haven't talked about yet. Hypergravitation.
Talking to him.
Hypergrav is a move where Magneto uses his balls to put the opponent into a capture state where they float towards his position. Without a meterless OTG, a floor bounce, or a wall bounce, Magneto uses this to extend his combos to any significant length. So you know what? Get your asses in the bus, kids. We're gonna fucking learn some shit today. The only version of Hypergrav we can reliably combo into is the light one. And even then, Magneto takes forever to get his balls out. So that begs the question, how do we get them into the position where they fall down into our balls? I mean, if only Magneto had one button that he used in every single combo route, so it would be pretty easy to guess jump heavy. Magneto's stand heavy and jump heavy are functionally the same, and they're all he'll ever use in combos because they do good damage, build hella meter, and they can be cancelled into air dash or flight. If we do air heavy low enough, we can cut off the recovery early by landing, and then we can immediately clap them with a stand heavy pretty much right after. This pops them up enough to get a light hypergrav off before they hit the ground. Now, keep in mind that all has to happen during a juggle combo, so you can't just go into it from the ground. I found this is a pretty easy way to route into that sequence. You're going to do a crouching magic series into launcher, air heavy, dash down forward, and then delay your air heavy so that it hits them when they're falling down. Do that right into stand heavy, hypergrav. By the way, shout out to this video for that route. From here, we can start actually doing hypergrav loops. Because of Magneto's mobility, there isn't one set in stone way of doing hypergrav loops. If you want to try a non-super jump variant, check out the video I just mentioned for the one where he jumps back and then dashes in. It's easier, but you only get like 3 reps max. At least you get to brag to your friends about being able to do grav loops without having to do the bitch pain in the ass part though. Anyway, here's the bitch pain in the ass part. As soon as they get hit with your balls, you need to super jump ASAP. If you're too late, the combo will drop. I will usually do a quarter circle forward followed by an up forward to buffer my super jump consistently. Big ups to One Heroes for that one, by the way. Keep in mind that you can super jump in whatever direction you want, This loop is weirdly flexible with that, and you should take that opportunity to do whatever is comfortable for you. Quick side note, if you're doing a neutral super jump or a back super jump, you have to air dash down forward in the next step. As soon as they go past about where Magneto's head would be if he was standing, air dash down or down forward with L plus M. While we're air dashing down, we need to do an air heavy immediately so that it doesn't get cut off by Magneto landing before it starts up. I found that plinking the dash into the heavy attack gave me the most consistent method to get air heavies out. Once we hit the ground, all we need to do to continue the loop is to quickly chain the air heavy into a stand heavy like we did before, and follow it up with another light hyper grav. Once you've made it that far, that's it. You've looped it. The faster you get with this sequence, the more times you'll be able to rep it. I think hit stun deterioration cuts it off after like 8 reps. At this level, cashing out to finish the combo is a little hard, but it's doable. Without a doubt, it's going to be the easiest to just relaunch, heavy, air dash, heavy, air special, level 3. Can't go wrong with that. His level 1 options are more limiting, but they're definitely still doable. You can always do the previous sequence and then substitute Magnetic Shockwave for his level 3, and then DHC into someone with a less shit super. On the other hand, Magnetic Tempest is a better solo ender with it being mashable. You can always super cancel a hypergrav straight into Tempest, but the startup is so ungodly lengthy that even a little bit of delay will make them fall out. Alternatively, you can relaunch with a slightly delayed super jump to get an air heavy, light electromagnetic disruptor into Magnetic Tempest. Again, you gotta be real quick on the super cancel so that Magneto has time to get off his ass and blast him with rocks. As always, if you're having trouble, I have more stuff about grav loops in the description if this guide was enough to help you with that. But I do want to mention that the Magneto bullshit rabbit hole goes much, much deeper. So I encourage you to go do some solo research on your own. Hopefully this was helpful though, and now your Magneto will have more swagger than a crippled pimp. Why the fuck did he say that? That was a fucking different time, man. Oh my god.
What Doctor Doom wishes, Doctor Doom